we are live. And I am very warm. Oh, Lord. Hello. Hey, folks. Welcome to the stream, to the video. If you're watching the archive, hello. It's me, Colin. You might recognize me. Oh, I should probably adjust my camera. Boop, doop, 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 boop. And I should probably find all my other various little things in the various places. Okie dokies. Stream is live. Excellent. Excellent. I think we're good. Question mark? Yes. I just played around with my audio settings, so let's see if that's good. Maybe I'll bump up the game a bit more? That's always dangerous. Okie dokies. Okay. Well, hello friends. Welcome to our demo launch stream for Greenhearth Necromancer. The demo is available now, which is excellent for anyone who wants to give it a shot. This stream is going to work a little different. I am doing not demo gameplay, despite what the footer will say. I am doing a little bit of free range gameplay, actually. I am on a later build than the current demo is on Steam, so I wanted to show off a little bit of how the game has been updated since that demo build, so you can kind of see what's coming in potentially future demo updates, as well as showing off some of the later game stuff with spells and potions and rituals and all that jazz. And also, doing more than that too, as I draw blank, we're also doing a little bit of co-working. My plan is to make a movie poster for Greenhearth Necromancer. I'm just kind of pulling through stock stuff that I have. I might go hunting for a little bit more as well, but we're going to see how far we can get with just what we got on my desktop currently. Then we get to do a little bit of back and forth, a little bit of gameplay, a little bit of co-working, we'll see what we make by the end of this. What I'm going to start by doing is taking all of these plants away. Just boop doop 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 doop. All of these plants can go away. Not because I don't love them. I do love them. But I'm gonna start scratch. We're gonna start from scratch and see if we can't show off some of the later plants, some of the other plants you'll find in the game. Probably won't be doing many narrative events. I know I'm coming straight from Fawn and Game stream, who showed off quite a bit of the demo, actually the whole demo, which was excellent. Wonderful stream. I'm so glad to have them working with us. So I wanted to show something a little bit different off. As you can see, if you are coming straight from that stream, there is other stuff. There is a lot of other stuff in this game that you can kind of work towards. A lot of different tools, a lot of different potions, a lot of different plants and spells that definitely will help you shape your garden in a very specific manner, depending on what you want to do. But first, right off the bat, let's grab some plants. Usually in the game, you're going to have to get plants through your neighbors, through narrative events, through different sort of things. But I don't have to do that. I have the power of a developer build, so I can kind of just... Hey Boots, thanks for joining. It's okay. You can kill your plants. They'll forgive you. I think. I'm going to grab a few of these other plants that maybe we didn't see on some of the other streams, and I can kind of show off some of the cool genuses that we've sort of implemented in here. Let's grab Let's see. Let's grab a sanguine star. Let's grab, let's grab an Arn's asp. Let's grab a dread hand. Let's grab an electric mango. And, that Feywood tree art is, still in progress. And let's grab let's grab a Chimaris? Even I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm going to ask somebody. But we're just going to try to kind of start dropping you don't like that. You don't like that. You don't like that. There you go. While you can do rituals to sort of determine what plants go where, you can also just kind of check based on their emojis when you pop them down. Electric Mango doesn't like that. Mitt likes that, though. Can I throw the dread hand up here? Yes, I can. Arn's asp. The screensaver effect is really cute. I love the focus mode. It means that when we go do our graphic designing in a minute here, the game will sort of give you a boost. It gives you a focus boost while you're not paying attention to the game, and it has that wonderful sort of camera pan effect over your whole garden. So you can kind of see, even just like, yeah, you can use it as a screensaver. When's the last time I thought about screensavers? I still remember the maze and the pipes and the mostly those two. Anyways, Arn's asp is not like that. Here? Nope. Here? Nope. Here? Question mark? Okay, Arn's asp did not like any of that. Sometimes it's not going to be happy. Why are you happy? Nowhere. Oh, you're very sad there. Do you go here? Nope. Here? Nope. Okay, the Arn's asp is happy nowhere, so it can it can. That's fine. We'll come back to that, I guess. Let's just put our plants down. I don't want to accidentally. Now, the thing is, I've done this before, where I kind of put them down. Oh, the Arn's asp apparently just wants to die no matter where I put it. That's okay. This is a sensitive plant who we're going to have to do a little magic to get to make happy here. Sanguine Star, happy there. Let's throw our trailing Rapunzel down in a happy spot. Here? Nope. Here? Nope. Here? Oh, you're not happy anywhere either. Okay, we're gonna have to do some work on you as well. Imsma? Let's see. Where are you happy? Okay, we're just gonna start sticking plants places, and I'll figure. Oh, Hunter's Bay loves that though. Okay, Teddy Bear doesn't like that. Every plant has. Did I put a plant there? No. Every plant has light and humidity needs. So as you can see, as I'm putting these plants down, this has 7 light, 2 humidity. This one has 8 light, 1 humidity. So some plants are going to be happier in places compared to others. Let's see. Some of them are only going to be happy in certain vignettes, unless I do magic to them, which is in my wheelhouse. What else have I shown off here? Let's grab a little leaf. Nope, you don't like that. You don't like that either. Oh dear, nobody's happy anywhere. Actually, where's my Feywood tree? The Feywood tree can probably go back here. It's okay there. Ooh, real happy there. Love it there. Got it. Feywood tree has a home. Baleberry loves there. Oh, hello, Lucas. Thank you for joining. Lucas will be in chat, one of my fellow devs. So if you've got questions, please direct them towards me and or Lucas. We could both answer your questions with relative ease. Let's see what else I have here. Maiden's Eye? Where am I going to put you? You don't like there. You're not happy anywhere. That's okay. Let's throw that in. Ooh, very unhappy there. The little sad face is this one's, that little emoji is always just like, I love the emoji designs that we had for these. On a very earlier build, they were just sort of the stock emojis that come with the computer, which was very funny for a bit. But I'm glad we have these custom ones. It was just very funny seeing the big yellow face the emoji on the plants. Okay, we're gonna put some plants in some unhappy places, because then that kind of we can use some magic to work our way around that. There are definitely some tools in the game that will let you sort of bypass a plant's initial needs or some of their quirks, although not actual quirks, which is the thing in the game. Let's grab what haven't I put down yet? Let's see. I do love the Kismet flower. Let's grab a Kismet flower. It's a very, very bony one, which I quite enjoy. Okay, so some plants are happy, some plants not so much. That's okay though. We're gonna fix this. That plant needs fertilizer. That's an easy problem to solve. Hello. Does anybody else need fertilizer? And while I'm in here, you. Anybody else? You. Anybody else? You. Excellent. We do have a lovely mix of. Yes, Lucas. I was like, you know what? Everyone else is showing off the demo. I have the ability and the power to show off some other stuff. So I'll give a little preview of some of the stuff that isn't in the demo build for folks to see. A lot of this has already made it onto our social media as well, so if you've been looking at our clips or any of our posts, I've been sort of teasing some of these throughout, but let's just show them off. Why not? We're here. It's Friday. It's like 4:12 p.m. Let's show off some game. Now I am in the debug build too, which means I have the ability. I mean, everyone can change time. You can always change time. But I do also have the ability to sort of just dip into a very, very full spell book as well. So let's take a look at some of these plants that are unhappy and see what I can't do for them based on their humidity needs and their light needs. So the Sentinel, for example, not happy. It does not like where it is. Now, I could do a ritual to figure out the light and humidity that it does need, which maybe this is the thing I should do. I don't have any research going on, so maybe let's do that. If I go down to the old Sentinel here, where are you? Where? Alphabetical order, that would make sense. There's a bunch of research that I can do to sort of give the... oh, great, boots. Excellent. You can learn all about all of our various plants while I do this stream. So yeah, in the codex here, you can see some of the research that you can do, these rituals that you can do for these plants to figure out light needs, humidity needs, all that jazz. You do have to do them in order, so I can't quite get there yet. Fun! Hey, thank you. Welcome, everyone. Yay! Hi, Raiders. We are here to. I'm showing off demos. I'm showing off not demo stuff. I'm in our dev build currently, showing off stuff that the demo doesn't have. Sneak peeks on the other plants and things. I say this like I haven't shown them in social media posts already, but hey, for anyone not paying attention, here's a bunch of plants. Yeah, I'm gonna show off some spells. I'm gonna show off some plants, and then we're gonna do some graphic design as well. This is a Colin working stream. Sorry, it's there. I apologize. Thank you, folks, for joining me. I love showing off this game. For example, this little guy with his little snake faces. Ugh, I love these plants. And I love a little skeleton boy. Fun. This is our Arn's asp. This is one of the plants that isn't in the demo. Our wonderful programmer just constantly adds new plants to the game. And it's wonderful. Every time I open up the game, I'm like, oh look, more plants. The Dread Hand I quite enjoy as well. It's a little off-putting, but that's okay. Let's show off how big plants can get. So again, I have tools that you will not have in game, but that lets me do fun things like okay. Before anyone panics. Bony Boy will come back. Just give me 2 seconds. Now, plants can only grow when they're alive, not undead. So I'm actually going to resurrect it first. And it'll bring back in this beautiful blue flower form. And I'm just gonna make this thing get as big as it possibly could be, which these flowers can get sizable. And there we go. Just keep going. How big can you get? Oh yeah, you can get big. Do I got one more? No, okay. So as you can see, that thing is a little bigger than we originally had. But let's bring it back to our bony version here. Let's give it a little revivify. And here it comes. Excellent. Look at all those little hands. I love it so much. Actually, let's see how many snakes I can get too. Again, don't worry. It will come back. Here it goes. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. The snake boys will come back. I also do love its alive form. This beautiful, it has these like very fern-like purple fronds, which I love. And we're gonna make it pretty big. Now, normally, making these plants this big will require a lot of time and effort to sort of raise them to this level. Which makes you just get attached all the more. And you can name them as well. I should be doing that a little bit as well. We're gonna kill it again. It'll be fine. Oh, Boots, this is one of my favorite plants too. Absolutely. And we're gonna revivify. And here are snakes. Oh, he's just so happy. It looks like they look like the little thing. What are those little things that you play with? And they have the little mouths that do the noise. That's vague. I'm not describing that well. They're a little instrument, and when you play them, the little mouth goes. Okay. Anyways, oh yeah, he's tucked away behind here a little bit. I wonder if there's any other. Let's see. Oh, the electric mango is also one of my favorite plants here. Let's see our alive version. Some of our plants sort of have this like flame effect, which I think is really cool. I don't know if that's. I wonder if that flame is actually hot. I wonder if. Gardening with undead plants does seem a little dangerous. A lot of them have teeth, which usually plants don't have those. Yes, I was describing an automaton. Thank you, Clarice. The plant, yeah. Let's see here. Resurrect. And we get a little fruit plant here. We're gonna make it a little bigger. And ooh, how big can I get you? Oh, we're getting towards the ceiling here. Oh, yep. Getting a little towards the ceiling here. That's okay. The plant cannot be contained. And we'll bring back the fire. Oh, all the plants have such great names. Again, shout out to Devin, who did a lot of the plant work in the naming and the sort of lore behind them, so they make sense. It's super fun. Let's bring back our fire mango plant here. Bright blue with all those little flames. I guess I should see how many hands I can get to. Well, we'll do this. We'll do one more plant before I'm going to dip into spells in a second here, because there is a lot of spells. Let's see here. We're going to resurrect you. I assume the live version is not hand-based. As you can see, it is not. There's a cute little flower there at the end. Naming things is very difficult. I often land on puns for plant names. It's low-hanging fruit, but what you name your plants is between you and the game. It doesn't report back to us yet. No, we can't do that. We don't have the ability to do that. Let's see. I'm going to kill it one more time. R.I.P. And we're going to bring back our hand plant. Between the undead versions and the... Thank you, Boots. Between the undead versions and the alive versions, you can definitely sort of have a balcony with very dramatically different vibes. You can have all these sort of green, flowering, beautiful plants, or you can have a hand boy over here who's slightly unnerving, but means well. Not all plants are going to be beautiful. I mean, they're all beautiful. Let's specify that. But I guess the traditional gardener way of appreciating them is not going to be there. Exactly, he is perfect. Yes, Boots. Yeah, undead plants won't grow. So the way as plants get bigger, their stats go up, and other various things as they sort of level and grow up. Let's grab our Kismet here. As you can kind of see, it's an old growth, and that will increase. There are different rates. Oh, I forgot about this too. This is new. You can change their pots too. Oh, and I can turn them around. You can see this little skeleton a little better. There we go. Excellent. I do love you. Let's see here. Yeah, that is a very early look at that customization tool. That is a very recent addition. We'll definitely want to expand on it a little bit more. But yeah, let's dig into the spell book a little too. So yeah, other than there's a recipe book with fertilizers, pesticides, and potions. All of these will sort of help you do a variety of things depending on your goal. Because in addition to, you can just vibe garden and play it by ear. But I also have been liking this to sort of, there's a very deep underlying simulation system that can get pretty complex if you really want to dig into it. There is between plants' needs, water, fertilizer, light, humidity. There's also pests and fungus to worry about. And then there's also their root points, their bloom rates, all those sorts of things. And these will, I lost my train of thought entirely. These will be affected by spells and potions and the placement around other plants. A lot of spells, actually, let's dig into spells as I'm talking about that. A lot of spells will affect one particular vignette. So the balcony is broken up into 3, the middle and the left and the right. So you can kind of strategize around putting certain plants on certain sides, casting spells on them, and having those affect all the plants around them. So there's definitely some strategy there that you can kind of dig into on sort of layering spell effects and potions to sort of keep your plants protected and growing, and providing resources so you can keep doing more stuff. There's loop. It's a gameplay loop. Classic game design. For example, we have orbs galore. I know we love an orb in this chat, so let's find a couple orbs and cast them. Let's see here. Actually, let's find some of my favorite spells. Water burb is one of my absolute favorite spells. It's summon a chubby enchanted bird who wanders around tending to your plants. I want that in real life. That is a great spell. Costs 1 wax and 2 social battery. It'll last about 30 minutes, and every 5 minutes, it wanders to another plant in the target's vignette. So as you can see, that's one of the spells that will let you sort of strategize around certain vignettes and what you cast and use your abilities on. So let's cast our water burb on our snake boy here. Let's grab let's see what else. So if we're trying to strategize here, which let's say we are a little bit, you're still unhappy, and I still haven't quite figured out why. Either your light or humidity is not good. So I could do some research, or I can just cast some spells and hope for the best. Let's see. It's light or it's light or its humidity is not happy. So let's find a spell that will sort of let me change that a bit. So yeah, this one increases light level by 2 and increases happiness. Okay, let's give it a shot. That made it better slightly, maybe. Okay, you're still unhappy. Let's maybe find a potion. As you can see, there is a potion of resurrection. You can bring dead plants back to proper life and not just undeath. But it is very expensive to do. It is very hard to do as a necromancer. Let's see here. Personality remedy, potion of fortitude. Yes, and also definitely a later game thing. Okay, but we're gonna try a sunbeam potion. We're just gonna keep focusing on its light, and maybe that'll fix it. Did that fix it? No. Okay, maybe it's the humidity. Maybe it's the humidity it doesn't like as I keep shoving things into it. Let's see here. Let's find something that'll help with its humidity. Root mass, resin, low light and humidity. So this is more tolerant of... Okay. Decrease minimum light tolerance and permanently decrease humidity tolerance. Interesting. What is the current humidity? That's a thing I should check. 2 and 6. Okay, so it is very low light and very high humidity. So I'm gonna want to probably oops, and then immediately put it away. Where did you go? Don't do that. Let's see here. I'll probably want to... Humidity level's 8. Okay, so I'll probably want to increase its humidity level. So let's grab a spell to do that. Let's see. Happiness. I mean, I could just keep casting spells that would bring happiness to it, and that would solve a problem. Let's see here. Kill all plants in this target section. Nope, not that. This will just let me copy a plant, which is great. That is a fantastic spell. Induce photosynthesis. Set fertilizer level. Nope, don't need fertilizer level. Don't need bloom points. All very helpful, but not for my current. Decrease humidity level by 4 on target. I don't... Wait, that might be good. Because I think it does have... I think it does have a higher... You know what? We'll give this a shot. This is... Hey! Okay, it was humidity level. Okay, there we go. I have fixed it. It also is going to cause some other problems, but maybe the water burp will help. Because as you can see, one of the spells I just cast did have that side effect of... I've already immediately forgot what spell I cast. Where did it go? Heatwave. Let's see. Where did you go, Heatwave? Where did you go? Oh, yes. How many plants in total can you have on your balcony? Let's give it a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There are 16 slots for plants. And then you also have an inventory up here, so you can also swap plants in and out at any time. It's so you can... Oh, I should probably open my curtain. There we go. Now you can see my face better. You can repot plants quite easily in the game, unlike real life, which is a messy, complicated, difficult process. In this game, it's button click. Thank you, dev team. There is definitely some conveniences, which are definitely helpful. Who else is... The thing is, I'm trying to make everybody a little happy just before I disappear off into Photoshop, so I don't come back to everything dead. Is my goal here. Anybody need water? Yes, you do. Okay, you're all happy. You're sad. Why are you sad? Actually, you know what? We'll just... how many plants are there in total? I honestly don't know the answer because we're adding new plants constantly. A lot of them are variants of each other, like different colorations or different, small modifications between them, all sort of under the same genus and family. But dozens? Definitely a lot. There's definitely everything you've seen here, plus more being added. I don't actually know where we're going to end up on the final total, but definitely in the tens a couple dozen, a few dozen, more than a couple dozen. Some, yep, definitely. You'll definitely have some favorites. I love all my plant children equally. Flashback to cut away to. I don't care for Sanguine Star. No, I do. It's so cute. Look at this little squiggly smile. Oh, you're so cute. The Dread Hand makes me laugh every time. This is also a game that definitely is. You probably saw this with Fawn and Games as well. It's easy to get distracted. There's a lot of fun little bits to sort of take your attention away. At one point, I was trying to figure out what makes this plant happy, and then I got distracted by shiny things. There's just so many little buttons to click. It's such a tactile game, which I really enjoy. Like between the radio and its dials, and between all these little modules and buttons and the cards. I love that you can tuck all these little trays away. It's so fun to just to interact with this game, which is super. I'm super biased, but I enjoy it immensely. Let's see here. Okay, we're gonna grab a spell. We're gonna grab a couple spells that'll just make them happy, so I can kind of leave them alone for a bit. Linger of Chaos. Who's everybody's happiness? Happiness? There's Heat Wave. That's what. Decrease water level by 9 on all plants. Oh, but it does damage to pests and fungi. That's helpful. Okay, but I definitely need to keep things watered. So maybe we'll cast. Where's my little water burb? Well, we're gonna cast water burb on a couple plants, so that these things. Actually, everybody gets a water burb. Oh, except you, because you're alive. Now, as you just saw, I can't cast spells on alive plants. However, with a spell like Water Burb, it will wander around the vignette. So there is a way sort of around it a little bit. You're still unhappy. You're fine. You're thriving. You're not. What are you? You're overwatered. Okay, I don't even know how that happened. You were like that when I got here. Okay. We have cast some spells. We have shown some plants. Let's pivot over to the other reason we're here today, which is hello, Photoshop, which took me a second to get working. In addition to playing the game, I'm going to make a fake movie poster for Greenhearth Necromancer. So I am a graphic designer by trade. I've been doing it for, oh god, how old am I? How long have I been doing this? 20 years? That seems long. I'm not that old. No, 15 years? Anyways, we're here. We're going to take a bunch of the elements that we have, that I have from the game, and sort of piece together a movie poster. So movie posters can definitely go a few different ways. I have a lot of existing assets that I'm going to be pulling from. I think I have a movie poster font that I can pull from. I definitely have worked on some sort of fake movie posters for some of the other games I've worked on. So I might open up those as well a little bit and steal some elements from them for this guy. But like all good graphic design, we have to figure out where we're going to start. One of the things I like to do when I'm doing something like this is sort of my method of the same way I decorate Animal Crossing houses, which is sort of to just dump everything into one room and then sort of piece through it and sort it out from there. So let's go dump a bunch of things in this thing. You guys cannot see my screen here as I browse through folders, because my folder structure is for me alone and not for anyone to judge. But we can start with, let's grab an old piece of concept art here that we definitely have a newer version of this, but I'm going to grab the old one just because I like to show that off a little bit. I love to show off how much things have changed in this game over time. It's come such a long way in such a short period of time, thanks to, in large part, almost entirely by our incredibly talented team. So shout out to them. I'm going to grab... This is why I didn't show off my folder structure, because I'm like, where did I put that? Is it under here? No? Although there is some character art in there, so I should be grabbing that too. You know what? Let's grab a crowd favorite. Let's grab Gulshan. Let's throw him in on here. I feel like he should be part of the poster because look at him. Let's throw down. Let's throw down the map for the market. The market, which we wouldn't have seen on the prior stream. The market is something the character can go to sell goods, buy ingredients, and sort of interact with the community. There's narrative events that take place there, and it's a chance to sort of use your community favor, that coin bar that was beside the social battery bar. That's where you use that to buy stuff from your neighbors. Let's throw down Compostifer. I feel like that'll also be important. Let's throw down... Oh, I noticed I should probably definitely throw down. Let's throw down the... Oops. Oh, and the game logo. That's a good place to start. Definitely going to need that. What I'm currently looking for is I definitely have some character art of Echo, who is our main character. You can name anything. You will get a prompt to name your character, but we internally, and sort of what the prompt initially suggests is the name Echo, which I love. Echo is such an incredible name. I'll probably end up going with Echo most of the time when I play. Where did I put that art? This is why I don't... Oh, I remember. Ha ha ha. I found you. There you are. Okay. Again, slightly older version of the character, but I think it's a good place to start. Let's see here. Okie dokies. We do also have our original key art, which I could include in here as well. Let's see here. What else do I want to include? I might have to go grab a couple things from our various places, actually. Let's see. I'm going to bump up the game audio a little bit. I wanted that chill music in the background as we did this. And of course, you can still see the game playing in the corner there. I can actually still... Woohoo! I still do things in here. Everything seems fine. Everyone's alive. We're good. Back to Photoshop. Let's see here. Oh, this would kind of be fun to show off. I know we talked about this. I'm not going to use this in the in the actual trailer here, but let's show it off because I have that ability through the magic of Photoshop. Let's put that somewhere where I can easily find it. Oh, I already did. Ha! I'm a genius. I mentioned that we did have some concept art of the neighborhood. So this is kind of... Aha! 4th floor. I knew it was something like 3rd floor. As you can see, this is one of our initial sketches of the neighborhood, of the sort of skyline that you see in the game. We had to do this math to figure out how tall everything is, what was visible from the balcony, so that way, the view made sense for the player. And we had that sort of diversified skyline of various architecture styles, and a variety of buildings with different uses. We love a mixed-use city. Let's see here. I do love... Let's grab one of these pieces of concept art as our starting. So this is one of our original pieces of concept art for the balcony. As you can see, sort of where things initially started and how it grew over time. It's going to be really hard not to do plant puns. And this might be a good starter background, potentially. I kind of want to link everything with this hand-drawn art style. Maybe let's keep it a little bit focused. Let's keep it, yeah, let's go on this side. Let's go on this focus. Excellent. Let's bring back our, let's bring it back to the bottom here. Let's bring back our main character. Now, do I want it to make sense? Do I want her to make sense, or them, I should say? Do I want them to make sense in the space, or do I want them to sort of be a little more abstract? Maybe let's. I'm not entirely sure how I feel. This is the fun thing about graphic design, is sort of playing around with it. Now, let's keep our logo. Let's keep our logo in the bottom half here, so that we can kind of show off some of the art. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Let's see. So I'm going into blending effects, which is a lovely tool in Photoshop that lets you do a variety of things. Strokes, nope, that's not what I needed. Let's get a little outer glow on this. We'll put a little bit of outer glow on the logo just to kind of make it, you know what, let's make it blue actually. Just to give it a bit of, make it stand out from the background a little bit. That's too much. Photoshop is often a lot of subtle things layered on top of each other. I'm currently doing an outer glow, just to give this logo a little bit of depth here. I might give it a little bit of a drop shadow as well, just to sort of give it some layering behind it, again, just to make it pop from that background. There we go. Oop. Don't forget to lock your layers. That also helps, so you don't drag around the wrong thing. Let's grab, you know what, yeah. let's keep our main character as the center here. And then let's bring in Gulshan behind them as well. I assume Gulshan's going to be taller. We're going to actually, now, and this may be sacrilege, but I'm actually going to blur the background. So I'm going into the blur gallery in Photoshop right now and doing a field blur. I just want to, it's just like a little bit of a subtle effect to sort of give that, make the characters pop off the background a little bit more. Let's see how that looks. Okay, excellent. Let's grab, did I grab Compose Defer? Yeah, I did. Hello, buddy. You're definitely one of the main characters. You can kind of, you'll go down here. Let's layer them in behind. The best, being a graphic designer, one of the best things you can have is a PNG, transparent PNG. It will change your life. It will water your crops. It'll clear your skin. It's amazing. It's one of those powerful things you can have in your repertoire. And then, because about half of graphic design is cutting things out of backgrounds when you don't have a transparent PNG. So there is that. Let's go grab, I was looking for something in the concept art here. But I'm going to grab some of the other character art. Oh, the bee. How did I can't forget the bees. The bees are very important. Let's grab the bees. I'm going to put them in a new special folder called Stream, so I don't have to go searching for them. We're going to grab our bees, and we're going to grab our... Oop, you got away from me. Sorry, guys. Let me just rearrange the OBS thing a little bit. You can go over here. You can go over there. I'm just rearranging it the exact same way my Photoshop window has it currently. Let's grab our bees. Let's grab a couple more characters. We'll grab the building super. We'll grab Neat. We'll grab our death doula neighbor. Let's just grab everybody. Which version do I have Gulshan? Yes, I have the open shirt Gulshan, which is the best Gulshan to have. And I think I have... Yeah, let's grab a variety of the characters. Community is important. Definitely don't want to miss anybody. Not going to put everybody on here, but let's grab a handful of characters, which feels correct. Maybe let's grab some plant art. Balcony props. I'm real in the weeds here in our Google Drive. There's something specific I was trying to grab though. The welcome to graphic design of me being like, what was I looking for? I'm just gonna turn on. What was I looking for? What am I looking for? I got some plants. I got some bees. I got my characters. There's something I'm missing. Well, we'll come back. Okie dokies. Let's drop a couple more of our characters down here. We're gonna grab that folder that says stream because I'm smart. Haha. Let's grab them. Let's grab our bees. Let's grab our YouTuber. And let's grab our gamer. Okay. So now we got a variety of characters kind of tucked behind Echo here. This will be a great opportunity. Let's put our bees up in the top corner. That sort of way they're flying is already natural there. Although maybe I don't want them to block Gulshan, so I might do a little flip horizontal here. Let's get a neat lined up. Let's put them, yeah, again, with the way Gulshan's gesturing here, I might want to put them, actually I might put them in the back row, so I'll move Gulshan up, or down here, I'll move neat there. I'm guessing character height at this point. We'll keep our super in the background, and we'll keep our YouTuber here. Excellent. Let's make everybody relatively the height they probably should be. Of course, again, they're kind of fanning back into the distance, so we do have to keep that in mind height-wise, scale-wise, so that we don't sort of confuse anybody here. Okay, now that we have our characters mostly lined up, oh, our bees! I forgot our bees. Where did our bees go? Oh, you're there. Okay, let's keep them. There's a great, I would love to maybe tuck them behind our YouTuber here, so it sort of feels like, okay, so now we're going to get into the weeds of Photoshop a little bit. Now we're kind of in the place where I want some of the bees to be in front and some of the bees to be behind. So I'm going to grab our lasso tool here, and I'm going to grab, I think this bee specifically, and I'm just going to cut that real carefully. I'm playing a little loose with the lasso tool here, but there we go. Now we have some layering. It does sort of feel like some of the bees are behind and some of the bees are forward, which I think is super important. We're gonna grab our layers there. Just direct them around a little bit so that they poke out behind our YouTuber. Excellent, excellent. I'm currently, Compostifer currently is being Mike Wazowski'd a little bit. There is a temptation to fully Mike Wazowski him and just hide him behind the logo, but we won't do that. Compostifer is very important. So I'm gonna move him out a little. Oops, let's shrink him down a little bit and tuck him out. We're gonna move our, oops. I have to lock that background again. Let's grab our characters here, move everybody up. Now, if you are a graphic designer like me, you're probably like, hey, Colin, you should be naming your layers and putting them in folders and doing things like that. And I say to you, yes, I should be doing that. But this is a stream, and we're playing a little fast and loose with the rules in Photoshop here. Okie dokies. Okay, now we officially are not blocking our compostifer as much. Another thing I'm going to do is, I wonder if you guys will be able to see this. I'm going to add, I always add a 50% vertical guide. You can't see that, but I'm adding a 50% vertical guide just to give myself a sense of the symmetry on both sides, making sure that the left and right aren't too heavy compared to each other. And so I have that definite view of things are centered and not. Let's see here. Okay, we got some characters laid out. We've got our game logo here. We've got a blurred background. Things are starting to come together, but we're not feeling movie postery quite yet. So there's a few different ways we can deal with that. Let's what I'm actually going to go do is dip into a previous movie poster asset I did, and I'm just going to steal layers. This is also graphic design. Often going into files you've already done and grabbing layers to copy and paste into a new file. We're going to go back to... I'm going to go back to an old asset here. Once upon a time... in a different life, not even a different life, a few years ago, I used to work on a little game called, where did I put it? It would be in this folder. Alphabetical, there it is. I worked on a little game called, I was going to be like, called, here you go, but it's taking a minute to load as I'm trying to find the file, so I'm vamping, I'm going to stall a little bit more. This is me stalling as I look for the file, and there it is. This is the one I want. Let's grab that one. That was vague, I know. Yeah, let's grab this. Okay. Things are about to look a lot different. Potentially. I don't know if this is actually going to show up on stream, because of the way I'm currently capturing the Photoshop window. Let's see. Either you guys will see what I'm going to pull from or not. It will. Hello. This is a different file. You may be like, hold up, this is not what we were just looking at. That's because I used to work on a little game called Risk of Rain. And one of the fun things I did for them was also make movie posters. Specifically, this was a poster that was inspired by Alien, I think. So as you can see, there's some stuff I can kind of take from here. One of the things I'm going to take from here are, let's zoom in here. One of the first things I'm going to take from here, actually, is our texture layers. So one of the things that really make a Photoshop file sing, or make a piece of art sing, is that little bit of extra touch at the end. I'm going to introduce it right now. Just for funsies on the stream. So one of these things I'm adding right now is sort of a grit and halftone layer to the poster. These will provide that sort of papery texture that you find more on a movie poster. Let's see here. Let's. Now I'm currently playing with the what does Photoshop actually call it? The blend mode. By using a variety of blend modes, you can kind of get things, you can kind of see what the grit layer looks like when it doesn't blend properly. But I can kind of use the grit layer to provide this texture to the images that I had previously. The exclusion one is great because it brings those whites forward. But the subtract is really nice because it brings that dark texture into, which is I think what I want more here. I don't need that light texture as much. It's a subtle effect. I'm turning it on and off. Oh yeah, you can see that. But it's something. Same with this halftone layer. Let's bring it up to 100% here, just so you guys can see. This halftone layer provides that dot effect that you usually see in printing. This is not quite accurate. I'm using a Photoshop layer here to sort of recreate a printing effect. You can do this in a variety of ways. I do have some Photoshop files that will sort of let me more creatively and more specifically use this halftone effect on specific. I might run these characters specifically through that one by one. We're not going to do that here. We're taking some shortcuts. But again, we're back to blending effects here. We're going to bring in a lighter color to contrast against that grit there. I might do color dodge, and then we just play with the opacity to kind of bring that down so it's not as aggressive on it. Yeah, although, ooh, I do like the subtract, actually. Bringing that dark in is nice. Nope, oh, maybe a linear dodge. Linear dodge? Color dodge. Linear dodge? I do like the linear dodge. It brings it forward a little bit more. Okay, we're bringing some texture into the poster, which is great. But we're still not quite there yet. So let's bring in, let's go back to our other file. And let's bring in some of these other little things that really make a movie poster feel like a movie poster. Specifically, these ratings here. Obviously, Greenhearth Necromancer is not going to be R-rated if in our fake movie world, but I can probably grab a different rating from my stash of files. Being a graphic designer is also having a just pile of assets at all times. Oh, it looks like I did this as a smart layer. That's a choice. Let's do that. Okay, I broke down the bottom of this poster into a whole separate file here. So now I can kind of start doing some work here. Let's grab this movie poster font. I'm quite a fan of it, actually. Oops, let's not break this file though while I'm here. And let's grab yeah, let's grab that. We'll copy that over. Excellent. We'll change that text here shortly. We're going to go back to our Photoshop file, our other Photoshop file. We're going to grab, let's see. Let's grab the 70mm thing here, and let's grab, is this what I'm looking for? Oh, that is what I'm looking for. Ooh, interesting. The R-rated thing comes with it. Okay. We're going to copy this over as well. Because apparently I have smart layers and smart layers. So one of these things is not like the other. This game was not published by Gearbox, unlike Risk of Rain. So we're going to cut that out. And we're also going to cut this R-rated out as well. I mostly just want this part of the layer. So we're going to grab that, do a layer via copy, so that I have this motion picture soundtrack little thing here as well. Making a movie poster, it's one of those things where graphic design, it doesn't feel official until it has all those little bits that you expect. It's like if you saw a Oreo package and it didn't have like the Nabisco logo or a UPC code or the nutritional information. All those sorts of little things really make something feel more cohesive. Even now you can kind of see it's starting to feel a little bit more like a movie poster now that they're starting to bring those elements that you usually see in that context. That goes a long way to making graphic design feel a little more legitimate, for lack of a better word. I do need to move this logo up, so I'm going to bring that sucker up a little bit so I can move. Oops, I'm moving the wrong layer around. This is why you lock your layers. This is why you lock your layers, so you don't end up doing what I did. We'll move Composer out a little bit here. And I might go grab, speaking of rating old files for stuff, let's go down an even deeper rabbit hole. Because there's another client I worked on years ago that also I did a movie poster for. So I can kind of go grab that asset as well. Now these assets I do also have separately somewhere, but sometimes the easiest thing to find is your own Photoshop files. And sometimes that's the best way to just do it. Let's see here. Now, there's a game I used to work on called... It's just a little game known as... I'm trying to find the... Where did I put those files? Ha! I have found them. There's a little game I worked on called Bob or Bang on Balls. It was don't judge the game by its title. It had some neat stuff in it, and for a while there, I did some sci-fi movie posters for it because the game used a movie motif. The whole main hub was a movie studio, so I really leaned into that and made some posters inspired by other sci-fi movies, like this one that was inspired by The Martian. Now, let's grab... I thought that this one might have what I need here. It has the Real D 3D thing. Ugh, this is a great font, too. This might be a better font, actually, than the one I previously had. Let's get rid of this guy. Let's bring in the... Yeah, this feels a little more the vibe. Rendering the text will cause it... Yes. There we go. I'll have to get in there and change some of the stuff so it's not quite Bob heavy as it previously was. But let's grab this Real D thing. Come on, let's grab this large format thing as well. This is this, and this is... Where is that Real D 3D thing? What is that layer called? That's the one. Okie dokies. Let's grab those. Let's grab these, put those down here. Again, this is just like trying to make it feel a little more legitimate. So we'll keep that as well. I know I have one with a T rating, even a T rating. Those are video games. PG-13? PG rating would feel like the Greenhearth, or PG-13 even might feel like the right one for Greenhearth. Let's see here. Oh, maybe I don't have one with... you know what? Let's open up a couple more, just so I can see what else I can pull from. We're going to grab... this one is inspired by the movie Moon, if it opens anytime soon. And this one is, of course, inspired by Star Wars. Ooh, it has this little Dolby Digital thing. That's great. Gonna take that. Oh, this one has a great texture on it too. This is why you go and look at other files, because oh ho ho ho. Look at this texture I might steal. I actually might turn off this halftone. And I might put on this stripey texture as well. Let's keep up everything under our layers here. Put everything under our halftone or our texture layers. Texture layers usually go on top, so that way you can have that texture. Texture also really goes a long way in making elements in Photoshop that don't feel cohesive, because once that texture is applied to all of them, it gives this effect that it all sort of belongs. Speaking of which, let's grab... Oh, this is a fun texture. This might be what I want. Yeah, that gives a great texture to that. Oh, this is also a halftone texture, but much smaller halftone. This is actually what I wanted. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, if we do a soft light, that brings out it changes that, it enhances all the colors really nicely, which I quite enjoy. But let's take a second and actually check back in our garden, because it's been a minute here. And I don't know if anything... Hey, everything's still alive. Look at that. Nothing died. Well, no, those aren't new. Everybody... Okay, you're not happy. But everybody's alive. That's good. You're still not happy, but that's okay. Everybody's still alive, which was the more important thing. Does anybody need water? No. Okie dokies. Everybody's fine. Look at that. Nobody's dead. I'm doing much better than my last stream, where I forgot to check in for over an hour and everything died. That was not great. Let's go back to Photoshop. Okie dokies. Okay, let's get into the weeds a little bit here. That's not what I want. Where's my scroll bar? Oh, and I immediately lost my... Where did my layers window go? Layers. There we go. Cool. Okay, let's give that a lock so we don't have to accidentally break that in the future. Let's give this a nice... It shouldn't quite be a white. You'll notice that like the bottom of movie posters usually isn't like that bright white. It'll be a little bit... I could drop the opacity a little bit. That doesn't feel cool. Yeah, maybe I'll drop the opacity a little bit. Okay. This is a great font, by the way. This is a movie font that gives that music by and produced by and all those sorts of little details here. It gives those as separate sort of... what's sort of like for glyphs, I guess, in the font to use, which is great. Let's just do our actual like credits here. Let's put in Devin here. Let's throw in. We don't necessarily have a. Let's throw in. Based on the novel by. Well, let's throw in. Let's throw in our writer here. Lindsay. Is it an A-Y or E-Y? Gonna double check Slack for that. Lindsay, are you A-Y or E-Y? For people who don't know, Lindsay is our writer on the game. They also previously worked on I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. They also have their own stuff that they work on, some great graphic novels and things. Definitely go check them out. I think it's Lindsay Ichihiro. I'm going to double check that. A lot of graphic design is double checking things. It is going to websites and posts and things and going, I don't remember how to spell someone's name. Ishihiro. I'm just going to copy and paste this from this devlog. I was thinking IC, but it is whoops. ISHIHIRO. Excellent. Let's put Lucas here as our producer. Produced by. Let's go, Lucas. Lucas also has a very movie-sounding name with the middle there. That feels very movie producer-y. We got our Lucas. Let's throw in. Let's see here. We'll throw in a Claris as our creative director. Nope, that's not how. That doesn't work. Nope, that doesn't work either. Excellent. And I'll put my own name here, so I don't keep searching for names. Excellent. See, there we go. We got some credits going. Now we're cooking. This is a movie poster stew going on. Okie dokies. Things I still want to grab. What else goes on a movie poster? We have our characters. We got a background. We got our game logo. We have some credits. And now we have our little footer. We're gonna do. Let's grab a. I'm gonna go to the internet and grab a not teen rating. I keep thinking video games. Let's grab a PG rating. I don't think the film rating board will be mad if I steal this from their website. Probably not. I'm borrowing it. I'll return it later. Will I return it later? Probably not. Let's grab that, make that a little bit smaller. Line that up with the footer here. We should also, you know what else makes things feel official? Logos. And let's go grab the logo of our studio. Great place to start. Let's see. That, I definitely know where I put that. That's in a folder labeled Silverstring logos. Because, yes. Let's go logo transparent. Yeah, that feels like the good one. Pop that down there as well. And we will, what else do we have here? I'm going to clear off the color overlay on these guys. I'll fix that. Let's go. Let's add a couple more logos here. Logos always make things better. Logos always make graphic design better. Again, it's that officialness. Oh, Claris, thank you. I completely forgot Audrey. That's a better. I'll definitely put Audrey on here. I'm gonna take my own name off. I'm not the. I can actually get into back into here, and I could probably find another. How do I? Director of photography, line producer, production designer. What am I? Oh no, don't worry, Claris. I'm adding my own name back. I'm trying to find the right written by, executive producer, screenplay, 3D visual effects. What do I want to be? Guest director, edited, art director, co-executive producer, co-directed, story by, casting, assistant director. There's a bunch of fun little music. I do love that I somehow put creature designer and supervisor. Casting. Yeah, let's do that. Line producer, director of photography. Let's make Audrey our director of photography. And let's make myself our. You know what? Let's do. I'll be special effects. That feels appropriate. There we go. That feels a little. Excellent. There we are. It's not everybody. It's a good chunk of our team in one spot. I was on the hunt for 2 organizations we could not do this without. For a couple more logos. The people we could not do this without are... Are you under print materials? You are under print materials. Canada Media Fund, of course, and we'll throw in our publisher as well, Indie.io. Make these logos real small. Put them on the bottom here. We might make another layer. So many logos. At a certain point, you can have too many logos. That is a thing. As much as I'm like, logos make things feel legitimate, you definitely don't want to go too heavy on the logos. Sorry, Canada Media Fund. Your logo gets real unreadable, real small. Let's drag silver string down here as well. Let's put on the other side of, let's put on Indie.io on the right here. Let's put silver string on the left. Excellent. Okie dokies. This is also going to be a great insight to my coworkers on what I spend a good chunk of my day doing, which is photoshopping things. Okie dokies. I'm going to drag those around, make it feel a little more official. Let's drag the credits up. Let's move the credits up a smidgen here. Now, chat, if you have a suggestion, currently we don't have a tagline. Posters usually have that pithy sort of, the whoever wins, we lose for Alien versus Predator. I don't know why that came to mind first, but we need a good snappy sort of tagline for the game, or for the movie, I should say. Currently what I'm doing is just organizing my layers a little bit, so I can kind of use, if I put them in folders and use the blending options, I can kind of apply layer styles to them in one go, including this color overlay and dropping the opacity down. Oh, maybe not the opacity. Maybe I'll just do a slightly grayer color. Cool. Ooh, I do like the slight purple tint to it. That's kind of fun. I do like that a lot. Sometimes you just stumble on things as you're doing stuff. I should probably layer this. Yeah, that's fine. that... oh, that's real... Okay, I'm going to leave that as is for the moment. Currently it says motion picture soundtrack available on Hopu Records and Tapes. That is a developer of Risk of Rain. I went real in the weeds for that poster. That's something I can definitely change to Silver String Records when I have a sec. Yes, our movie is in 3D. Why not? The best movies in 3D, aka Spy Kids 3D. We're going to copy and paste our layer style here, which is excellent. I do kind of like that. Yeah, I enjoy that. We'll leave this at the gray. Oh, maybe blue would be better, actually. Maybe a lighter blue for the B might be the play here. I was thinking like a lighter purple, but now I'm thinking a lighter blue is the play here, actually. Excellent. Cool. Okie dokies. And we'll shrink these down a smidgen, and we'll kind of bump them up here. And we'll leave our logo where it is. We'll leave our credits where they are. Actually, we'll probably put those back at 100%. Yeah, I like this. Cool. Okay. It's coming together. We're making a movie poster. Now, there's still a couple things I'm not quite happy with. We have our logos, we have our credits, we have our game logo. Let's create, let's make our tagline. We have some pithy, we have some clever marketing copy. Raise a Garden from the Dead is classic. What else do we have? I do like Raise a Garden from the Dead. You know what? That's a good place to start. Let's do that. So we're going to add our tagline here at the top, probably, just for balance sake. We're going to grab the right font. Now, the right font could be a few different things. There are some fonts that fit with the branding. There are some fonts that fit more with the vibe of the game. I'm going to grab a font I like called Bookmania. It fits quite well. Raise a Garden. Nope, that's not what I want. I always forget, how do I M-dash? Every time. It's like Googling how to spell things. I'm always just like, every time, how do I M-dash again? And then I always just end up copying and pasting it from the Google result. Cool. Okay. Now, our Raise the Garden from the Dead is looking a little, it's not very legible. So now we can start. Now we're going to get into the weeds a little bit. I think I've said that 4 times already. We're deep in the woods. Let's see. We're going to grab, thankfully, our lovely UI artist has very helpfully passed over a lot of the HUD elements and a lot of the UI elements, which makes it so that I can add things I can create cohesive feeling graphics really easily that kind of draw from the game's own branding. So for example, if I drop this down, this is actually the background to our social battery. And this ends up being a nice little box here that I might be able to, although it's a box that makes things more legible, but suddenly, when we're talking about weight again, this makes this whole top bit very heavy. So if I do tuck it behind the characters here, but keep the text in front, that might work a little better. Let's grab that. Actually, let's leave it at white. Let's go to our blending options. Let's give this a drop shadow. Let's give it a bevel, and let's give it a stroke on the outside. Okay, now we're cooking. Now this pops a lot better than it used to. But I don't love it still. It's floating above the bee. The text box doesn't really make sense. So I'm actually going to remove that element. I'm going to bring our bees down a smidgen so they aren't as hidden. Yeah. And I'll make this a little bit bigger. Move it up. I don't love the bevel effect in Photoshop, but it works in a pinch. We're going to bring in some other little elements from the game just to kind of give it that vibe. Let's bring in, let's see here. I've got some inventory icons that might be, yeah, let's bring in a plant. Let's bring in the icon for herbs. Because that's just like a nice little, if I can kind of position it on this side of this raise the garden, that feels nice. Let's check it behind. Let's check all of them behind our texture so we keep that effect. And let's grab something that represents dead quite nicely. I do like a gold hoard might work quite well, actually, because of the skull. It's skull nature. We'll tuck that behind as well. I'm just going to flip it. Cool. Okay. Look at that. We're getting there. We're doing a whole poster. Now, in hindsight, I don't love this blue. I was so confident about it 2 seconds ago. Now I'm like, actually, let's bring it back to like a gray. There we go. Let's copy our layer style here. Let's paste our layer style here. Okay, so we've got our logos, we've got our credits, we've got our characters, we've got our tagline. It's becoming quite movie postery. I'm gonna move just everything up a smidge. Let's grab our... This would be when you start organizing things into layers, so that way you can move stuff all at once. Okay. I'm more pleased with this, but now I'm less pleased with the background in general. I'm pleased with the general layout, but I feel like the background is too divorced from the characters. But I don't want to have them in like a white void either. Maybe I will do... Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this balcony layer. And I'm going to actually replace the contents of it with another piece of art, because I have an idea to kind of show the time of day stuff as well. I brought in night, which does make those characters pop a lot better, which I quite enjoy. But what if I did this? What if I just took this half, did a layer via cut? I'm going to have to rasterize this layer. If I do a layer via cut, and then turn it off, and then turn this off. Wait. Oh, wait. I'm dumb. Hold up. Please stand by. There we go. I can kind of bring in that time of day change, which I quite enjoy. I have to line them up a little bit better currently. They're not quite lined up. Oops, shoot. But you can kind of see the effect I'm starting to go for. Let's try that again. I'm actually just going to duplicate this folder, or file. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to replace contents. I'm going to go with balcony night. And then I'm going to line it up with the prior one. Oh, shoot, I did it wrong again. Don't do what I'm doing. I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing Photoshop bad. Don't do what I'm doing. I keep replacing layers after duplicating them, and of course it doesn't do what I want it to do, because that's not how Photoshop works. Okay. Then we're going to divide. Okay. we're going to take this, we're going to divide this, and we're going to split the layer here. Again, I have to rasterize this layer. Rasterizing, basically, when you're working with Photoshop, rasterizing it turns it into solid pixels, so sort of more from the vector style, which lets you do various things that Photoshop wouldn't let you do previously, but it also makes it so that when you're resizing it, it will lose quality if you're going too big. So I try not to rasterize all the time unless I need to. In this case, I need to. Specifically, because I need to rasterize this layer, I need to select half of it. I'm going to go layer via copy. I'm going to hide that. Then I'm actually going to go place the balcony, this one. I'm going to grab this and make it bigger. I'm going to line it up with the light there. And I'm going to blur it again. Do I want to actually blur it again? Or do I suddenly... No, I'm going to blur it again. We're going to go filter, blur gallery, field blur. And there we go. We sort of have this... Oh, I should probably fix this to... whatever. Is this the one I want? This is the one I want. This is the one I want. There we go. Okay. It's not quite lined up properly, as you can see. There's definitely an easier way to do this, but I like my method. Cool. Cool. Have I rasterized this already? Yes, I did. We're going to grab this again. We're going to go layer via copy. We're going to turn this off so that we get that dual effect. And now we're kind of capturing that the time of day changes between them. Does it bother me slightly that I'm going night to day? Yes. Am I going to change that? Potentially. We'll come back to it. How are my plants doing? Speaking of, let's see. Everybody's still happy. Nobody needs watering. Nobody needs watering. That's suspicious. Is time progressing while I'm... Maybe it's because I'm in debug mode. Is time progressing while I'm not in the game? Interesting. Well, we're going to go back to Photoshop. Okay. I'm feeling much better about our current sitch. But let's do... We're not quite done yet. Currently, the art... I love the character layout. I'm enjoying the background a bit more. But, again, it still feels a little floaty. It still feels a little like... it's not a cohesive package. We're getting closer. But now we're going to have to work on our character layers. So very specifically, I'm going to grab all of our characters. Oh, I didn't use the map at all. This feels less important now. Bye, map. Sorry, map. You feel less important in the grand scheme of things. We're going to grab all of our characters. And we're going to put them in a folder. And this is when I'm going to start playing with some of the layer effects, the blending options on this guy. Because if I give them a drop shadow, that will give them a little bit more depth. We don't want it to be super heavy, but we do want it to feel... Yeah, okay. I'm going to make it a little bit purple. I'm going to give it a little bit of opacity. I'm going to give it a little bit of a spread, just so... yeah, just so the characters have a little bit of depth to them. I could also give them an outer glow, which also might be nice. Yeah, the glow also is kind of nice because, again, it gives them this cohesiveness that they didn't have previously. The fun thing also about doing these Photoshop streams is I might have people currently watching this going, "What are you doing? This looks worse," and agree to disagree. But like all things, subjective. I personally love a little glow. I'm also probably going to add right below our background, or right above our background layer, I'm probably going to add, I'm not probably going to, I'm going to absolutely add a new fill layer, specifically a gradient, because this, again, will, if I go for a darker, maybe a darker purple color here, I can kind of start bringing in some of that cohesiveness that I mentioned. Let's see if I go a little darker. Perfect. Okay. We're starting to get a little more cohesive. I'm enjoying the dark, the blues and the purples that I'm pulling from, which is not necessarily traditional for, like, when you think gardening. I've definitely gone green, more green before with assets, but I'm enjoying this dichotomy for sure. I am going to make this less of a bright white so that the logo pops out a bit more. We're getting there, though. This is progress. Let's see what else I can bring in. See, now we're kind of in the finer details. Actually, I might move. The problem is, our protagonist is just a really big hat. I'm trying not to block too much of this character. But that is a big hat. Currently, it still does sort of feel like they're standing on nothing. So, what I'm going to do is something a little bit more time consuming. I'm actually going to give them sort of this platform to stand on. So what we're going to do is drop this oval down. I'm going to drag it down to just below them on the thing. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a fun little thing that Photoshop has, which is our perspective warp. Let's see, transform path, perspective. Nope, that's actually not what I want. Let's go edit. Actually, yeah, I'm going to completely rasterize this layer. I'm going to go transform. I'm going to do perspective warp. So this lets you draw this little grid. It suddenly then lets you warp it in a certain perspective. I've done this a few times in files before. But basically, it kind of lets you create this 3D, for lack of a better term, shape. If I just make this even, as you can see, I'm sort of drawing it. It suddenly becomes this 3D plane. Also, I'm getting real dark. I need to turn on some more lights around me, apparently. There we go. It creates a sort of 3D plane that, might give the characters a little bit more... It'll ground the characters a little bit more. I'm not going to leave it this color, but now at least the whole thing should feel a little more cohesive. Specifically, I'm going to make it... I might give it a texture. Let's go into my assets folder. As I mentioned, as a graphic designer, you end up sort of having a huge stockpile of assets that I've accumulated over the years. If I ever lost this folder, I would cry. Thankfully, it's backed up. But you end up having sort of this large library of assets to pull from, so it saves me time when I'm doing assets like this, because I know I kind of have a sense of what I want, how I want it to look and how I want it to feel. I can kind of go into some of these assets that I have and find something that fits this current vibe. I don't necessarily want something that's too busy or too ostentatious, but I do want it to have a little bit of texture to tie in, because everything's very hand-drawn, so I don't want it to feel too sleek and modern. I want it to have a little bit more of a natural or sort of vintagey texture to it. So what I might do is I do have some watercolor textures that might fit quite well as just something that's a little bit more... Well, let's give it a shot. Worst thing that can happen, I delete it. Let's see here. Ooh, this might be good, actually. Let's see. I do have these sort of fun... textures here. Let's give this one a shot. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a clipping style so that it brings it down into this thing. As you can kind of see, it's a bit of like this watery, colory, painterly style texture. Now, this is still not what I want. This is still too bright. It's still too... It's not the right color. It's not the right vibe. So what I'm going to do is probably make this... I can't make it black because that won't help me at all. But I did mention bringing more green in. Because, or I could go blue. I could keep it as the two colors. Sometimes you want to just keep things simple color-wise, like very, very purple and blue, to make all the other colors pop. Or because I have not done a brown or a green yet, that might actually be the direction to go. Not a bright green, but maybe a dark green. I'm going to rasterize this text, or I'm going to rasterize this layer style, so that way this texture pops up, and then I'll use blending to sort of bring back the green, but still give that texture, like that. And suddenly, our poster's doing a little bit better. I accidentally put it in the glow folder, so we're going to fix that, so that doesn't happen anymore. Although maybe I do want it in the glow folder. Interesting. Huh. Maybe I do want it in the glow folder. Maybe I do want it in the glow folder. Okay. Neat. Maybe I just need to... Now I'm changing my mind on the glow. Now that I have this here. Yeah, what if I just turn off the glow entirely? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn off the glow entirely. I'm going to leave the drop shadow on. Actually, yeah, I'm going to turn off the glow entirely. I'm going to copy the layer style, and I'm going to nest these characters back into another folder inside a folder. We love a nested folder. I'm going to paste the layer style back. I'm going to turn off that drop shadow. I'm going to turn on the outer glow. And I'm going to make it a lot smaller. Now, the outer glow, as you can see, it's not actually happening the way you originally thought. That's because I nested things, and it overrides it. So that's actually not the way to do this. But I don't hate the effect, actually. Yeah, I'm actually kind of liking that. Yeah, absolutely. Sick. Okay. We've got our characters. We've got our bees. We got our credits. We've got our title. We have our tagline. This is feeling pretty good. Chat, let me know if there's anything else you might want to see, but I think we made a movie poster. Maybe a border? Do like a border. Let's try a border. Actually, are there any? No. Okay. Let's try a border. Not that border. Oh, though a circle border is interesting. Oh, sometimes you draw something and then you go, what if I redid this entire thing in that style? No, that's not going to be helpful. Don't do that. That's not helpful for anyone. Okay. We're going to take our fill away here. We're going to give it... let's give it a... Let's go for the light blue border. Let's just see how that goes. That's too big. I was thinking something very thin. And... let's actually drop our border down to the bottom layer, or the almost bottom layer here. And let's drop the opacity down almost all the way to... That's too far. Too little opacity. Oh, it's because I've also put it in the wrong spot. It'll go over here. There we go. I do like that it kind of fades into the gradient fill at the bottom. That's a nice little effect. I actually might get rid of the top and just leave it as these sort of side things that go straight up. I don't hate that. This is coming together. I think we made a movie poster. Yeah, I think we made a movie poster. I'm gonna double check. Now I'm just getting real nitpicky. Oops. Nope, I'm just trying to select the B layer. Stop. Thank you. I might just scooch him a touch. Just a touch. Always gotta scooch things a touch. But yeah, hey! That's a movie poster. Great. I did the thing. That was a co-working stream. I did a whole movie poster, which I'm pretty darn pleased with, actually. I went into this with no plans, except that one movie poster idea. And I'm glad it kind of turned out the way I wanted it to. That's no AI can do this. That's literally no AI could do this. Have you seen them try to do a box or text or anything that resembles any sort of graphic design? You can try to get it to do art, and I put an art under the most heaviest of quotation marks, but not stealing my job yet. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. Okay. Ooh, I almost hit a very big graphic design sin. Or just if you're working on anything. I've not saved the whole time. Don't do that. Save constantly. Don't be me. Save your things constantly. Because I haven't saved this the entire stream. Whoops. Don't do that. That's not recommended. Okay. Let's go check in our garden one last time. Everybody's still thriving. Everybody's still vibing. This is the best garden I've ever had. Ignoring the fact that I have a bajillion resources and dev tools. I'm pretty proud of this. Anybody need pruning? Okay, I really don't think you've been moving while I've been off. Are you overwatered still? Yeah, you're still overwatered. Okay. Well, that's good to know. That is good to know for the future. Yeah, I think that's a stream. I think that's a whole gosh darn stream right there. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for anyone who's stuck around this long. I don't actually know who's left. I don't know how many people are watching me currently. I've just been staring at Photoshop and talking to myself. That's streaming, right? That's how you stream. This will be archived. So if anyone wants to watch me Photoshop later, that'll be around. Also, the demo, Greenhearth demo, launched today. So that is now available. Please go to Steam and give that a download. Please give us a wish list. Those always help. We would love to put this game in as many hands as possible. I think it's an adorable, cozy, cute game that has a surprising amount of depth, and really lets you, I think, whether you're really into gardening or you just want to make a pretty balcony and not think about it too much, there's a game here for you. Thanks, Boots. Thanks everyone else for watching. I'm going to go and finish work myself, too. It's Friday. I'm going to go play, I think, Kirby Air Riders. I've been excited to dig into that when it came out yesterday. That's how I'm going to unwind. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll be back next week with more streams. Potentially more co-working. I've been enjoying doing this Photoshop on stream, so maybe I'll make something else Greenhearth themed. We'll see. At the very least, I have a whole asset at the end of this. That's co-working. That was a productive stream. I didn't even think about that. I'm gonna go post that poster. Okay, thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.